We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
Italo, Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, once again. This is Italo's Black Rock Radio. This is Italo speaking. And once again, we have...
Big Dog Lefty in the house.
Jeshua O'Neal.
Where is he?
I'm right here. You can't see me?
Now we
No.
can.
You gotta,
okay.
you gotta talk so we can see you. Like, if you don't talk...
Oh, it doesn't pop up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's,
Okay,
that's, that's, Zoom, that's Zoom for you. If you haven't been on Zoom. Is that a lollipop?
Right.
I thought it was something else. I'm like,
I'm like,
is he
is
about to
Skype,
open a condom?
do we still mention Skype? Does anyone still talk about Skype?
What is Skype?
Wow.
I'm just joking.
That's the way we all feel.
All right, so this is
I
part
hope you
two.
guys don't mind. I'm gonna be really gangster right now. I'm gonna eat a lollipop. So
Go for it. This will be the first live where I have somebody with a lollipop.
that's how gangster I am. I could be a lollipop and still be me.
You can attract all those lollipop TikTok to you.
That's right. I'm fake thirst trapping right now.
For real.
Man, eating a lollipop.
All right. Well, all right. So if you haven't been watching or you haven't heard yet, this is part two. You should really start with part one so you can understand where we're going here.
Yeah.
But let's resume what we're talking because it was really interesting. We're talking about mental issues, mental health. I wouldn't say mental issues because everybody's, mental health is basically the topic. And we mentioned names like Robin Williams and Michael Jackson, Kanye West. So that's where we left off.
Now, like I was saying earlier, man, a lot of those artists, especially early 80s, mid 80s, mid 90s, it was branding. We didn't have the internet. It wasn't as open. If they didn't do a talk show, a radio show, that information never got out. So they had to protect their brand at all costs. So they weren't very forward with the mental health issues, especially being megastars like Michael Jackson. And it isn't until stuff started to go south that they would actually feel free to discuss it. Like, why was this happening? The whole Michael Jackson trying to explain why he was hanging out with Macaulay Culkin and all of these kids at the time. And same with Kanye. Before Kanye started tweeting and disrupting stage shows, the VMA awards and stuff like that, the alcohol problem, because he had a big alcohol problem, and we didn't realize that was all masks that he was putting on to kind of numb what was going on with his life. And then when his mother died, as Jeshua said, is when we didn't start to realize we should have been, instead of focusing on the things that he was doing, he needed help.
Yes.
But we're in a different day and age now where the internet is prevalent. So those things that you used to be able to hide, you can no longer hide. So you have to provide an explanation for these type of actions. And now we're starting to learn about these mental health issues.
Right.
Yep.
And it's a good and bad thing because it affects the branding of the artist. Like, as I said, there's a stigma behind it. So you see what's happening with Kanye West. He's losing fans all the time.
But see, But see, that's what I was saying though. I mean, but like you said, it was from a different time era, so it wasn't as open. But see, like artists like myself now, or artists that come out per se in this era, if they're more open about it whenever things first start out, their fans will be behind them. Like, are you familiar with Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's another one.
Yeah. See, and Kid Cudi, he's going through some things, and it's been going through things for years. Now, I'm gonna tell you one right now that you probably a lot of people don't know. Andre 3000.
Well, I'm actually familiar with what
Andre,
he's going with, and the reason why he doesn't make music anymore. He actually wanted to move away from people. He's not comfortable being around people on the whole, which is weird because he's from one of the biggest groups in history. Like Outkast is humongous.
Yep.
And he gave up music because it wasn't fun for him anymore, as he said in his interview. So
right,
it can affect you, you know. But people from the older generation, like Robin Williams, they had to worry about the branding, the image.
Yeah.
So he hid it.
Yep.
And we see the outcomes of hiding it because you don't seek help because you're scared of what people may think.
Yep.
And then it gets to, and he ends up taking his life. And that was like really sad for me because I grew up on that man.
Right. And then you were talking about the stigma, right? So the stigma is between a man, not only a man, but also a comedian. Like, of all people, a comedian, how can you fathom the fact that he was going through depression? He's so funny, right? Like Jim Carrey, too. Jim Carrey, he's not funny all the fucking time. He's like, I don't feel like talking about this. And he will tell you right to your face, it's like, I'm not playing a character right now. That's a character in a movie that I did. Like, come on, get off my ass. Like, I'm being me right now. You're interviewing me. You're not interviewing The Mask, or you're not interviewing Truman Show.
And I agree. And that's part, the problem is the fan base expects a certain type of character from these celebrities. We expect like a Chris Rock to always be Chris Rock funny every time you run into someone like that. So imagine the pressure from the artist to actually just want to not be that character for a day, just want to be normal. And everybody you run into is like, do the Chris Rock, do this, do this. And then you get those moments where they're spazzing on camera. They're throwing something at you because they're sick and tired of it.
Right.
And I think Eminem is a good example because what he did was the reverse. He used to tell you from the beginning that, hey, if you approach me in the bathroom, I might throw something at you. So he came out and addressed that type of thing right in the beginning, where so people are cautious with approaching Eminem. He actually laid it out on the table. I'm not going to be friendly to you all the time. I want to live a life. And a lot of these guys don't have lives because they can't even go outside without people bombarding them. But they have to find that and protecting the brand, so they keep these mental health issues under the covers, basically. And we don't find them.
Do you ever wonder why our celebrities, we call them celebrities, why are they not speaking out right now where we need them the most? We need entertainment, but we also need them to be frank and to be outspoken and to be real for 1 minute. Like, we're never gonna remember.
I'm you talking about with all the stuff we got going on politically?
Well, not just politically, but the quarantine and
I mean, but to me, that all plays into it, and I'm not going to try to have like a political talk about this like this, but I'm gonna say it just like this. A lot of supporters of Trump, how do I put this? They don't agree with COVID, and I know because I have some friends and some in-laws that don't believe in the fact that COVID's real and whatever. So, as being a recording artist, you have to watch what you say. And I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to be as blunt as possible when I say this, and I don't mean this in no type of way. But see, being a recording artist, African-American recording artist at that, I'm going to tell you some truthful fact right now. and I'm trying to get my words straight because I don't want nothing to get twisted. You feel me? But majority of the people that actually support hip hop artists happen to be the opposite of what African American hip hop artists are. I mean, that's a fact. That's not me just guessing. But majority of the sales come from people of other nationalities. And if you get on there and you start down and start talking about certain situations, there's a chance you're gonna lose most of your income. And as of right now, recording artists can't go out there and perform like they used to. So they're depending on these digital streams, and you can say one thing and you will mess yourself up. Like, think about Ice Cube last week. Ice Cube, he said what he said, and they trying to cancel this man now.
And Ice-T.
So, and Ice-T, yeah. Oh, and 50 Cent too. They trying to cancel 50 today. Today, they trying to cancel 50.
Yes, that whole 50 cents ordeal.
You have to watch it. Yeah. Sometimes it's best to just keep your mouth shut, man. I mean, because do what you do behind closed doors, or just do it in the background. But then it's also that stigma that if you're not speaking out, like they tried Lil Wayne a couple of months ago. They was like, well, Lil Wayne, you ain't got nothing to say about the George Floyd situation? And Lil Wayne got on there and he said, well, what you expect me to say? You want me to spew some hate out my mouth when a white man saved my life when I was 9? And they tried to cancel him just for saying that one thing, and his streams went down for a little while. So it's kind of a touchy thing, man. Like, even me, I'm not famous to the point where I'm making a lot of money, but what I have noticed that if I speak out or speak on how I feel about certain situations, I'll see my follower count go down, my view count go down. People start reporting my videos, and that hurts me in the long run, man.
Right.
So you got to think, is it really worth it at the end of the day? When you got a family, especially.
That's true. I agree. I mean, I have my own thoughts about coronavirus, about the whole pandemic thing, but I'm going to keep them to myself.
That's actually...
No, it's probably the same.
That goes back to what we were talking about a little earlier with the artists. You would like more of them to speak out, but then, when their back's against the wall, they have to make a decision. Are they big enough where what they say will get them canceled? Like, Dave Chappelle is completely open and speaking out about every issue he can. But Dave is also towards the end of his career where he doesn't want to do comedy. Doesn't matter. Where we're actually living around cancel culture right now. If you say one thing that somebody doesn't like, they're quick to want to take you off the air. We're a little bit more sensitive as a generation right now. So every little word that comes out your mouth can go viral in a minute if you say the wrong thing. So it's like the artists are constantly walking on eggshells. That's look at it. Walk on these eggshells without breaking them. So you will catch a lot of they're tiptoeing around the issues because they understand that I might say the wrong thing today and I can't feed my family tomorrow.
Yep.
Even if they support or don't support you.
And people don't forget. People don't forget. You could have said something 10 years ago, they're going to bring it up again. Like you said this about homosexuals like 10 years ago, and now you're coming out to support LGBT, and they're going to bring it up every single time. And it's hard to get away from it.
Yeah, what kills me is that people don't realize that who I was 10 years ago might not be the person I am today. Because, that's basically what we are. We have to learn and grow every day. And we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have missteps along the way getting to who you are today. So what I said 10 years ago might apply to me today.
That's true.
I tell my kids, I'm a firm believer of something until new evidence is presented. Therefore, my can change. I'm not stuck in one lane.
Right.
But the internet will freeze you. You will say the wrong thing, will hold that against you until they get you off or they cancel. or whatever it is they feel like doing. So this is what the art is, and speaking of mental health issue, politics, everything. So it's rough.
And
Yeah.
And see, right now,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry. No, my bad, Victor. I was just saying the internet's stronger than it's ever been right now. Ever.
Yeah. Social media.
I mean, considering the fact everybody's at home. Yeah, everybody's at home. That's all we do.
Right.
So
Well,
even
yeah.
it goes the same even with TikTok. That's why if you notice on my page, I stay away from anything political, because I even that it is still,
Yeah.
I come into my lives all the time asking me, hey, Trump or Biden, who you support? And I said, listen, brother, we hear this all day, every day, and every social network. My TikTok is neutral. I have my own view.
Right. Don't you hate it when they come in halfway through what you're saying, and it's like, they throw you off with these questions. It's like, I wasn't even talking about politics. Why are you?
Because now it's a determining factor whether I need to listen to what I have to say or not. They weigh everything so heavy on one issue. All right, I'm not going to support this guy if he doesn't support my people. Or you do that with everything. Like if this guy supports gay people, I'm not supporting him.
Right.
If this, has a mental health issue, I'm not supporting him. So this is why people are cautious to speak about pretty much every issue. We've become too sensitive as a society. That freedom of thought, that thought process. I don't have to agree with you on every point for me and you to be able to have a conversation like intelligent adults.
Yeah.
But we're in that lane. If you don't align yourself with me, we can't speak. So I keep my TikTok channel completely neutral. And it's funny because I see on both sides of the fence, and now we're all in the same room interacting because no one knows what each other's stance is.
Yeah. Till this day, I haven't even tried Chick-fil-A because of what they did in the 90s.
Okay.
and that's funny.
It sounds stupid, doesn't it? Like, I haven't tried Chick-fil-A, and I want to try Chick-fil-A, but I know how they stand on the LGBT community, so I'm not going to support them till this day.
Exactly. And I think Old Navy was one. Like, we stopped shopping at Old Navy because of that one commercial that they had no place shooting, which really kind of, I sat there and was like, dude, didn't someone in the higher ups review this commercial and realize where the material is? Almost. And I haven't been to Old Navy since. So that's what the artists worry about. They might say the wrong thing.
True.
And
like,
no one listens.
Like also, like when this like an allegedly thing that happened with Michael Jackson, is like, well, he allegedly did this. They don't even have a way to. There's no judgment. There's no fair trial in this case. They already are assuming he did it. It's like, oh, if he's accused of it, he already did it. And didn't even give him a chance to explain himself.
Well,
but the second day he died, they wanted to try to defend him after the fact, and that was another thing. Yeah. Like they tried to defend him. Like when Kobe died, for instance. I ain't trying to bring him up, but they drug Kobe through the mud with those alleged stuff, and then when Kobe died, it was just like,
yep.
We should have appreciated why he was here, but it's a little late for that now. So,
well, that whole innocent until proven guilty thing, the myth in this country. To be honest with you, you are guilty until they prove you innocent, and even when proven innocent, you are still deemed guilty in the public eye.
Yeah, there's still going to be that doubt in your head. It's like, wait a minute.
Wasn't this the guy that was charged? Even if I get off, even if I was proven innocent, they will remember the charges. And you will lose.
This is my brother. He just went.
He was going.
Oh, not much, man. I'm the LGBT.
He heard y'all say something about LGBTQ, and he popped up. It was like y'all summoned him.
Well, there was a TikTok about something where the kids, where you said something like candy and the kids just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm serious. I didn't ask him to come. I don't know what popped up. He was in there sleeping. He said LGBTQ, and I heard something. I looked to the right, and he's like, I want in on this conversation.
That will be part 3 because yeah,
we
Well,
did one already.
welcome to the live. Welcome to the podcast.
So it's touchy right now, and to be honest with you, the state that the country is in, this whole dissension, the splitting up of groups, it's like the country became a high school gym where you hang out with friends and you don't talk to the other groups. That to me is like what's sickening. You know what I mean? Like, because if I'm a Trump, if I'm Republican, I can't talk to a Democrat. We just can't talk anymore. I've lost friends because they don't support my political view. They don't like what I have to say politically. And it's the only way I will completely not talk to you is if you're prejudiced or if you're racist. That's my only issues.
Right.
But we can disagree on certain points.
Right.
And still be humane to each other.
Civil. Can be civil.
And the state of our country right now in terms of everything, LGBTQ, race, politics, are complete lost.
Right.
You know,
Like I have family members who are Republican and Democrats, and I'm the nonpartisan because I'm like, wait a minute, they have a point and they have a point, and so which point do I? And it's hard to like separate family too. It's like I feel like I'm divorcing my parents again. Like
it happens. Jeshua brought it up.
It's yeah.
Nah, go
It's kind of sad, man, because I'm gonna say something about this whole politics thing. I'm gonna openly say this. I was a fan of the president before he became president. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something that y'all don't know about me. I'm a stockbroker. Okay, and the reason I'm a stockbroker is because of Donald Trump. Okay. When I was in high school and they asked me to write a paper about who I wanted to be like when I grew up, my paper was about Donald Trump. So I feel like I personally know this man because I did a lot of research on him, you know? And the funny part about it is he was friends with a lot of people in the black community before he became president. Now, I'm not going to get into all of it, but I'm just saying certain things broke those friendships up. I'm sitting back watching everybody just split up and everything like that. Like on my TikTok, I have Trump supporters that support the hell out of me because like Big Dog said, he's neutral. But at the same time, when certain subjects come up, I do speak on it. Like arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. I'm gonna say that openly. And I mean, that's just how I feel. But it's like, it's a way that you can do it, Big Dog. I don't want you, and I'm just saying, I don't want you thinking that you have to mute yourself from the way you feel. And all means, bro, you in the public eye, you know what I'm saying? And you inspire people because whether you know it or not, you inspired me because I had got to the point where I wanted to stop doing skits. I'm just using this as an example, but I ran across your page because of my wife and it motivated me. So you being in the public eye, and the only reason I'm telling you this, because you said you only been on TikTok for 2 months. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. There's a lot of people on TikTok, whether you know it or not, bro, they look up to you. I'm just being honest, because I look up to you, and I don't even know you.
The reason why the neutrality isn't to mute myself, Joshua. I'm going to make this clear. The reason I'm neutral,
yes, sir.
Why I'm neutral, I believe that people need a safe place to congregate. It's like having opposing viewpoints and providing them a safe place where they can actually commune together.
Right.
Yep.
You see, because I know the dissension, the tension behind political views. I actually thought about this because I have my own strong opinions, but that neutrality right now is what's missing in our country. to me, because every social media platform that you turn to, every time you turn on the TV, every time you go outside, every conversation at work, it's always dissension and division. So I treat my page like that safe watering hole, that I have Trump supporters on my page. I have Democrats on my page. But in my lives, they don't know what the other is. And if you come to my live, they're all just speaking freely about the weirdest topics, because they're all, and they don't even realize that they're on opposite sides of the fence because of the neutrality. And all they see is person instead of big dog as an opinion.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all Americans. So why are we trying to find out what is different about this person or that person so we can cancel them out and we don't have to hear them? We don't listen to understand. We listen to respond right now. We're like, wait a minute, stop. You know, we're like, come on, listen to see where they're coming from. Your journey is not the same as my journey, right? So we have to listen to each other and respect each other. Otherwise, that's not debate.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically, growing up, you know, I was a member of the debate team, all of this weird stuff. You know, I did all of these weird things. And one thing you learn is that sometimes people have such strong viewpoints that no matter how valid your point is, they will never see it, because they strongly believe in their point so much they will ignore the facts on the other side. So by providing people neutrality on my page, I get more of what their life is a person instead of them as a. So I have like people who's been following me from 10 followers.
Right.
Align myself with their opinion, politically or otherwise, as long as they're not racist or prejudiced.
That's really what I was trying to say. Because God dang, that branch just hit me in my damn head. Oh.
What happened?
That's a branch just came. You didn't see that? A branch just came down out the tree and hit me.
No.
But really, what I'm trying to say is,
talking to you. That's God talking to you.
I know, but my thing is this, man. It kind of go back to my childhood. Like I said, I had white friends that used to appreciate me, but they appreciated me because I was that black friend. Now I know there's supposed to be neutrality, but what I'm trying to say, the reason that I even bring up certain subjects, I don't like talking about politics, but I like people to know, hey, of course you see that I'm black, but I just want to let you know that I haven't forgot. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it weed out people, bro. It's some people that I used to love commenting on my stuff, and when I would say something along the lines of, it wasn't like off the rocker or nothing, but then their true colors came out, and I'm sitting here like, okay, so this is the person I've been showing love to. Because I like to weed out the racists, you know. I think this is the year that we need to be exposing the racists so everybody can get on one accord. As you know, my wife is white, my in-laws are white, my grandmother was mixed, so I feel like everybody needs to be together, and this is the time to do it. And the only way we're gonna do that, the only people I feel need to be exposed, it's not about black or white. I think it's against racists and non-racists. That's the way I feel. You know, I feel like it needs to get to that point.
I agree with you fully.
Yeah.
But you see, my family, Jeshua, my house is blended. You know what I mean? My wife is Hispanic. You know, my kids are mixed. I've adopted 2 children.
Really?
Yes, I have 2 adopted kids. One of them is 24 now, and he's a member of the LGBTQ community. You know, so awesome. I have an adopted 24-year-old son. I have an adopted 9-year-old son whose mother was, how can I put it? Remember that she was actually on drugs when she gave birth to him. I've had him since he was 4 days old.
Wow.
You know, so I've been around and seen too much division, and, you know, my brother is in the military. So I support the military. I have uncles who are police officers. I support the police officers. And I still have a problem with some abuse as well. So, as people, we shouldn't be like, I don't think that we need to be fully accepting of one thing. Like, dude, if I accept you as, I can like and support whoever my political representative is without agreeing with all their points. I will never agree with one's points because we're not the same people. I will have I don't agree with that you say and things that I agree with that you say. I think the problem now that if we align ourselves with a political candidate, we're saying that we align ourselves with everything they're about. We can't because, you know, support, I'm going to say this for the first time, I hear people support Trump and they will excuse everything and ignore the things that are wrong. And I hear people that support Biden and do the same. So for me, it's like you do realize you can never align yourself with one person.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
you will have difference of views, at least on some topics.
And there's the one thing that really sparked me to get off on Facebook is when I posted something where it was something that somebody was saying, vote blue no matter who, and I'm like, hold on a second here. You mean to tell me you can be a rapist, you can be a murderer, you can be a child pornographer, you can be into cannibalism and Satanist, but hey, he's a Democrat, so I should just vote for him because hey, he's my party. It's like, no, don't give me that, please. Don't patronize me. Don't think that I don't have a mind of my own. I can make my own mind. So that right there threw me off for like a whole month, and then I discovered TikTok, and I'm like, thank God, because I was driving. It was driving me nuts. And my boyfriend was like, I already have TikTok since 2018, or I'm like, yeah, like I'm switching off.
Well, I delete my Facebook.
I still have my Facebook because my family is still friends, but I rarely check it. To be honest with you, like TikTok has its trolls. I have them on every post that I do, right? And
these are trolls. These are trolls that you know, by the way.
Yeah. So they have their trolls that come in. They'll try to throw me off because they don't like the fact that they can't figure out what side of the fence I'm on. And to me, that's funny. So why is that important to you, right? To know what my political standpoint is, for you to decide whether you need to like me or not. Because I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced.
Yep.
Right? I will treat you no different than the next man. I tell people this: love each other. You know, you're beautiful. Stay blessed every day.
Right.
And if I'm here spreading positivity, why does it matter what side of the fence I sit on? Because
or my sexual preference.
Right. So I find that's why I provide the neutrality, because I want you to see Big Dog Lefty as a person instead of a political party.
Yeah. I don't want you. I also don't want you thinking I was meaning any disrespect by that. I was just.
No, I don't. I don't mind explaining the thought process behind it. You know, I actually thought about it because I thought about putting my political views out there a couple of times.
Right.
But that made that decision. Well, let's see how it works. I don't know.
Right.
You know, I get the question every live.
Yeah.
You know, Pat Williams said something a couple of years ago. I think he said it too early before his time.
Go ahead.
No, we should take a break from presidents for a while and just be single. Because I honestly feel like this nation would be better without having a president. That's just my personal opinion. If they just had a
have
group
you
of
seen
people
have you seen the
together.
perk? If you have seen the perk, he would disagree with me with your statement.
Well, the reason I say that is because for a second. The president, you know, he has to go through other people to even really get stuff to break into laws and break into place. So why don't we just have those group of people instead of just having one person we look at, instead of putting somebody up on a pedestal?
So are you trying to run like the Green Bay Packers, man? No owner?
I mean, bro, that's what it seemed like it's getting to. Because think about it, if we didn't have to choose between two people and stuff like, I don't think stuff is as bad as it is right now. I mean, this shit is crazy. It's craziness, man. I had a lady walk up to my wife. This happened to my wife 4 different times in the past 4 months. People ask questions like this. Lady walked up to my wife in Walmart a couple weeks ago and asked her, how does it feel? And my wife said, what do you mean, how does it feel? So everybody just stopped and got quiet. My kids in the buggy. My kids even shut up because they know my wife, she got a little short temper. She like a firecracker and she pregnant. The lady gonna say, how does it feel to have black kids?
What?
Now, that's where the line is drawn for me. This is where I said, you're blatantly racist. Unless you're racist or prejudiced, you got to go.
But see, the problem is, this is my thing. Racism and these racists that have been here have kind of been on hush mouth since 1993. I'm just throwing a year out. They kind of been kind of low down. But see, now, with all this crap going on, and I ain't trying to say that the president meant what he said when he said what he said, but when you said stand down and said all this other kind of stuff, these people, especially here in Alabama, they out full force, and they do not care. They don't care no more. They do not care anymore. I mean, we've had them call us the N-word in the middle of the store like they don't care. One lady walked up to my wife and said, "Aren't you embarrassed?"
Wow.
You know, and my wife and me, I didn't leave this house for almost 4 months, and I was already going through some stuff. But when I started hearing how these people were talking to us, and me knowing that I love everybody, bro, it felt some type of way with me. You know, I'm in a very bad area, bad state.
We have to do a part 3 because we have less than a minute, guys.
Oh, part 3. All right. Hey, part 3. Can we talk about Cardi B and
Go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.